Hi, I'm Phil Constantine, and this is Travels with Phil. Who was Robert Johnson, and did he sell his soul to the devil to learn how to play guitar? Well, this is something that a lot of folks have heard about, the story of Robert Johnson. In fact, it's been in several movies. Ralph Macchio made a movie called Crossroads about him, or at least allegedly about him. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Has a segment in there about a young man who learns how to play the guitar by going to a crossroads and picking it up from the devil. Heck, even the TV series, sci-fi history series, Timeline, has a episode where a young man learns how to play guitar, allegedly by getting it from the devil. Well, the story of Robert Johnson is he was born sometime around 1911, lived to about 1938 in the Mississippi area, and he is known for being, some people, they call him the father of Delta blues. Eric Clapton's called him the most important blues singer that there ever was. I believe Rolling Stone has him in one of the top 10 positions in its 100 greatest guitarists of all times. And basically, he developed an old school style. Of course, when he was doing it, it wasn't old school, it was modern school. But he developed a style of playing guitar that was rather unique. Now, where does the story about him selling his soul come from? Well, he used to hang out in some of the old joints in the area around the Mississippi Delta. People like Son House, Willie Brown, Ike Zimmerman, people that were really good at playing blues music. And this young kid came in, and he was okay on a harmonica, but he was not very good at all on a guitar. And supposedly he left for a month or two and then came back, or a short period of time, and came back. And all of a sudden he had this amazing skill on this guitar. Well, where did he get this skill from over just a very, very short period of time? Well, some folks say that he had heard the story that if you went to a certain crossroads at midnight, the devil would show up and would give you certain skills that would allow you to play guitar. So as the story goes, he goes to a crossroads and shows up at midnight with his guitar. This enormous black man shows up and says to him basically, you want to learn how to play. And the agreement is made. So the enormous black man takes the guitar, tunes it, plays a song on it, hands it back to him, and from that point on, he's got his skills that were, according to the time, some of the best that ever were. And a lot of folks, again, that are really into the rhythm and blues, and especially blues guitar and Delta blues, Mississippi blues, really think that Robert Johnson, whether he got his soul, he got his ability from selling his soul to the devil or not, developed an amazing style. And a lot of people say that's sort of the birth of rock and roll, the backgrounds for it, even that. Now, he's had lots of songs. I'll give you little short snippets of a couple of them. Come On in My Kitchen, Crossroads, Hellhound on My Trail, Kind-Hearted Woman, Love in Vain Blues, the Sweet Home Chicago, you might have heard of that one, Terraplane Blues, Traveling Riverside Blues, When You Got a Good Friend. These are just some of the songs that he did. And basically, he sat down over a very, very short period of time and recorded a whole bunch of music in just basically a open room. And there's different stories. He supposedly sat with his face to the corner, and some people said he liked the way it made the sound come back toward him. Some people said he didn't like to look at anybody when he was being recorded, and this was just a one-person operation recording as far as the stories go. So who knows why he did what he did, but he died a very young man, and some people say that's the end of the deal with the devil, in whether or not he actually, wound up being killed early or dying early, because that was the deal he made with the devil, was, he didn't tell you how long you were going to live. Now, did he sell his soul at a crossroads? One of the funny things about that has always struck me is that people will argue about where he sold his soul, but they don't argue about whether he did sell his soul. Now, there's some folks who say it's in Rosedale. Some folks say it's in Clarksdale, and different spots in Mississippi. We've got a couple of videos here. We'll show you bits of that. All right, this is the junction of Highway 1 and Highway 8 in Rosedale, Mississippi. Don't see any signs for Robert Johnson out here. All right. All right, the other Robert Johnson's Crossroad. This is 61 and 49 in Clarksdale. And that's the thing here. It doesn't look like an isolated area where you'd want to meet up with the devil, but this is the legendary spot. But that's the thumbnail sketch of Robert Johnson. You may or may not have ever heard him, but his influences have influenced and have been heard all over the world because of people that picked up some of his styles, some of his rhythms, and some of his cadence, and put it into their music, which influenced other people, which eventually influenced even more famous people. And that's how his influence spread all over the country. And that's why this person that you may or may not have ever heard of, other than maybe the selling his soul at the Crossroads thing, Robert Johnson, wound up being considered one of the greatest guitarists of all times. Thank you very much for watching this video, listening to these clips. I'm Phil Constantine. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my video. You can just do that by clicking over here on the right-hand corner. That'll get you updates on all of the videos as they come out here on my channel. Thanks for watching, and in this case, listening.